God's silence does not mean that he has abandoned us, but that he is preparing us for something greater. God works behind the scenes, even when we see or hear anything. It is easy to interpret silence as an absence, but it is actually a moment of preparation and refinement. When God is silent, he is not distant. On the contrary, he is moving in ways that we cannot see yet. This silence is an invitation to trust more deeply, to rest in the promises he has done, knowing that he is in control of everything. In moments of silence, God is not inactive, but is shaping you to something bigger than you think. He uses this time to strengthen his faith, refine his character, and prepare the way for the victory to come. The absence of immediate answers is a sign that God is working behind the scenes, taking care of details that we cannot see. Although it seems that nothing is happening, it is precisely in silence that he is shaping his victory. True faith is tested in times of silence when we do not receive immediate answers. It is easy to believe in God when everything is going well, but it is in silence, in the absence of signs, that our faith really strengthens itself. Faith is not based solely on what we see, but what we know about God's character. Even if there is no visible answer, God is present, and it is in his faithfulness that we can trust. This is what makes faith so powerful. It flourishes in the midst of uncertainty. When you are in a period of silence, remember that your faith is being refined. It may seem that God is not listening, but he is working behind the scenes, shaping you to something bigger. During these moments, it is essential to maintain the confidence that he is doing something great. Don't worry about the lack of immediate answers. Instead, continue to walk, knowing that your faith is growing and being strengthened every day. God's silence is not just a break, but a deep spiritual preparation. In times of stillness, God is refining our faith, teaching us to depend on him in a more intimate way. Just as the diamond needs pressure to shine, our faith needs to be refined to become stronger and more resistant. During silence, God works in the internal details of our hearts, preparing us for what is to come, even if we cannot see the full picture. This preparation process may be challenging, but it is essential to our spiritual growth. Instead of resisting, we must embrace these waiting periods as opportunities for maturity. Silence teaches us to trust God more fully and to better understand his plan for our lives. When this spiritual preparation is completed, we will be stronger and ready to face any challenge that comes ahead. Expecting in God's time is undoubtedly one of the greatest lessons of the Christian life. What seems time-consuming or even desperate is often part of the perfect plan he has for us. Although our impatience can make us wonder if God is really listening to us, his time is always the best. In silence, he teaches us to wait with hope, trusting that at the right time the answer will come, and the victory will be even sweeter when it arrives. What we do during the wait is what really matters. Trusting. When the wait is stretched, it may seem that we are stagnant, but it is precisely in this process that we are shaped for what is to come. God not only prepares us for victory, but also prepares us to live this victory with gratitude and wisdom. Do not hurry. What is reserved for you in God's time will be much more than you think. Take this time to grow, learn, and get even closer to him, knowing that the best is to come. In times of silence, doubt may arise if God will really fulfill his promises. But remember, God never fails. His faithfulness is unchanging, and all he promises, he fulfills. Even when times seem difficult and nothing seems to be moving, God's promises remain firm. When he says he is preparing something great for us, we can trust that victory will come in its perfect time, and it will be much more than we imagine. Confidence in God's promises is what keeps us firm, even in the most challenging moments. No matter how long is the waiting time or how much silence challenges us, it is working. Your word never comes back empty. When God makes a promise, it is guaranteed, and victory will come, because he is faithful to fulfill everything that has promised us. Hold firm, because victory is on its way. Many times we do not see or feel God acting in our lives, but that does not mean that he is not working. God is always behind the scenes, organizing the details of our journey. Sometimes he takes us on paths that we don't understand immediately, but when we look back, we can clearly see how much he was preparing us for what he would come. His work behind the scenes is as important as the visible victories he gives us. Even when we do not see immediate results, we can trust that he is working for our good. God's silence is proof that he is behind the scenes, orchestrating our victory. He uses these moments of stillness to teach us to trust, even without seeing. As much as circumstances seem challenging, know that God is never inactive. He is preparing every step, every detail to lead us to victory according to his perfect plan. So when you don't realize anything happening, remember God is working for you, in silence and behind the scenes. Uncertainty can be uncomfortable, and it is often an inevitable part of the walk. When we are in the middle of silence, it is easy to succumb to doubt and fear. Feeling insecure is human, but the true strength is to continue, even in uncertainty. God does not promise us quick answers, but he guarantees us his constant presence. Uncertainty is an invitation to trust more fully in your sovereignty. And it is at this moment that we can see our faith deepening as we learn to walk without seeing the end of the road. Uncertainty is a fertile ground for spiritual growth, as it challenges us to trust God, even when everything around us seems unpredictable. If you are experiencing a moment of uncertainty, know that God is with you, working on what you can't see. Instead of fearing the unknown, use this opportunity to strengthen your trust. Sometimes it is in uncertainty that God teaches us the greatest lessons of faith and resilience. In God's silence, it is easy to lose hope, especially when it seems that nothing is changing. However, it is precisely in silence that our hope is tested and strengthened. Hope is not just an expectation of something good to happen. She is a silent certainty that even in the midst of waiting, God is in control. Silence may be uncomfortable, but it is an opportunity to rest in the certainty that God will fulfill his promises in his time. When we do not see immediate progress, our hope must remain firm, knowing that the best is to come. Hope in silence is the confidence that even if there are no obvious signs, God is working. It's like a seed that grows under earth. You don't see what's going on, but you know something is being formed. When the silence is long, keep your hope alive, for at the right time, God will bring out what was prepared with so much love and care. Silence is not an end, but a preparation for the realization of his promises. Resilience is the ability to recover in the face of challenges, and it is essential to our spiritual growth. When we are in God's silence, we can be tempted to give up or lose confidence, but resilience teaches us to persist, even when the journey is difficult. Each time we get up in the face of adversity, our faith becomes stronger and our trust in God deeper. Resilience is not just resisting silence, but learning from it and getting stronger on the other side. During periods of silence, resilience is like a spiritual muscle that needs to be exercised. It is not about the absence of difficulties, but about our ability to face these difficulties with faith. As resilience grows, victory becomes sweeter, for we know that everything we have prepared us is prepared for what God has for us. Do not give up in silence, for it is at this moment that your resilience is being shaped to the great victory that will come. When you are in God's silence, remember he is preparing something great for you. Every moment of waiting, every doubt, and every uncertainty are part of the process of spiritual growth and maturity. The victory will be sweeter because you have gone through the refinement of wait, the unshakable faith, and the trust in God. How are you dealing with moments of silence in your life? What can be changed from your perspective to better take advantage of these periods? The resilience, hope, and faith you are cultivating today are the seeds of victory you will reap tomorrow. Don't despair. Keep waiting in God's perfect time and see the transformation He is performing in you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to track more content that will inspire and strengthen your walk of faith.